Let's go live.
Well, hello, North Carolina. Senator Tillis, Lieutenant Governor Forrest, Leader McCarthy, members of Congress, the members of the amazing Trump family, and to the thousands of my fellow Republicans gathered here, it is great to be back in the Tar Heel State. And it's especially great to be here with a friend of mine. A man who loves the state of North Carolina and has been fighting every day to keep the promises that he made to the people of this state. It is great to be here with the 45th President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump. But President Trump and I are here for one reason and one reason only. North Carolina and America need Dan Bishop in the United States Congress. He's the right man. He's the right Dan. He's a principled conservative, and we need North Carolina 9 to vote to send Dan Bishop to Washington, D.C. in tomorrow's special election. Let's make it happen. You know, we're gathering here at a time that I know has been difficult for many families in North Carolina along the coast. President Trump and I are updated today by state and federal officials to the response and recovery. And our promise to all of you and all of them is this. To the North Carolina delegation, to future Congressman Greg Murphy, and to all the families impacted by Hurricane Dorian, we are with you today, we will be with you tomorrow, and we will be with you every day until you rebuild bigger and better than ever before. Okay? But it is great to be with you all. You know, what began 4 years ago has grown into a movement of everyday Americans from every walk of life. What began 4 years ago has now spanned all across the country. And the truth is, here in North Carolina, you believed we could be strong again. You believed we could be prosperous again. You said yes to President Donald Trump in 2016, and North Carolina, tomorrow we need you to say yes to Dan Bishop for the United States House of Representatives. And while you're at it, after you send Dan Bishop to Washington, we need North Carolina to decide right here and right now that come 2020, we're going to give President Donald Trump 4 more years in the White House. I mean, think about all we've accomplished. I mean, just think about all we accomplished in the last couple of years, especially when we had a Republican majority in both houses of the Congress. I mean, it's truly amazing. I mean, with the leadership of the likes of Senator Tom Tillis, Senator Richard Burr, and your great congressmen like Richard Hudson, David Rouser, and the great Congressman Mark Meadows. I think there's only one way you can describe the last 2 years. It's been 2.5 years of action. It's been 2.5 years of results. It's been 2.5 years of promises made and promises kept. But we're just getting started, North Carolina. That's why we need Dan Bishop in Washington, D.C. I mean, think about it. The president promised to rebuild our military, Support all the brave men and women like those who serve at Fort Bragg with such distinction. And as I stand before you today, President Trump has already signed the largest increase in our national defense since the days of Ronald Reagan. We're rebuilding our military. We're doing it. This president promised to give our veterans access to the real-time, world-class health care that you earned in the uniform of the United States, and President Trump delivered. We reformed the VA, and we've given health care choice to every veteran in America. And President Trump promised to secure our borders. We've made historic investments in border security. Mexico is doing more today than ever before. Apprehensions on our southern border in the last 3 months are already down by 60%. And we've already started to build that wall on the southern border of the United States. Oh, we're building it. We're building it. And President Trump promised to get this economy moving again. And right out of the gate, we cut more red tape in our first 2 years than any presidency in American history. We fought for free and fair trade deals, and this president signed the largest tax cuts and tax reform in American history. That's promises made, promises kept. And the results, North Carolina, have been amazing. Since Election Day 2016, 6.3 million new jobs created. Unemployment is at a 50-year low, and there's more Americans working today than ever before in American history. And the American dream is working for everybody. African Americans and Hispanic American unemployment is the lowest level ever recorded. The American dream's working for every American. And this president, beyond security, beyond looking after our veterans, beyond getting this economy moving again, this president promised to appoint principled conservatives to our courts at every level. And to date, President Trump has already confirmed more than 150 judges to our federal courts, and they are all men and women who will uphold the God-given liberties enshrined in our Constitution, like the freedom of religion, the freedom of speech, and the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. In one promise after another, President Donald Trump delivered. We've made America great again. But to keep America great, we need 4 more years of President Donald Trump, and we need Dan Bishop in the United States Congress. I mean, think about it. There you go. I mean, think about it. 4 more years means more jobs. 4 more years means more judges. 4 more years means more support for our troops. And it's going to take at least 4 more years to drain that swamp. But I'm here because we need Dan Bishop, who's going to partner with this president every step of the way. Dan Bishop supports lower taxes, more jobs, a secure border, and Dan Bishop stands for the right to life. The other Dan, he supports Nancy Pelosi's agenda of higher taxes, fewer jobs, open borders, and even sanctuary counties. And you know, Dan McCready even opposed a bill to protect the lives of babies who survive abortion. On every issue, jobs, taxes, borders, life, Dan McCready is wrong and Dan Bishop is right. That's why President Trump and I need you to send the right Dan to Washington, D.C. It's a great honor to be with you tonight. Thank you for the warm welcome. It's also a great privilege always for me to have the opportunity to introduce a close friend of mine. Literally a man who's making America great again every day. You know, the President and I speak or spend time together every day, and I'm here to tell you, President Donald Trump is the real deal. He says what he means, and he means what he says. I've watched this president get up every day and fight to keep the promises that he made to the people of North Carolina and to every American. But now it's your turn. Tomorrow it's your turn to fight for him by sending a strong, principled conservative who's going to work for North Carolina and work with this president to make America safer, to make America more prosperous than ever before. It's your turn to send North Carolina and President Trump a true champion to the United States Congress. Dan Bishop belongs in Washington, D.C. And with Dan Bishop in Congress, with renewed Republican majorities on Capitol Hill, with President Donald Trump, your turn to send North Carolina and President Trump a true champion to the United States Congress. Dan Bishop We're going to keep on winning in Washington, D.C. North Carolina is going to keep on prospering. And with Dan Bishop in Congress, will keep America great. With renewed Republican majorities. So now it is my high honor, with President Donald Trump privilege in the White House, to introduce to you my friend, with God's help, and the 45th President of the United States of America. We're going to keep on President winning. Donald Trump.